Hello. Hello. First stream of the new year. How's everyone? It's been a while. Nice to see everybody in chat again. Nice to be live streaming again. Tired? Tired. I'm tired. It's only the beginning of the year. Yeah, we need to look alive. Yeah, hello, hello. So, for the first timers as well, welcome. Glad to see that there are new people. And yes, we will learn how to draw desserts today. So yeah, it's gonna be great. But before I continue and begin, just in case you guys didn't know, we're not just a YouTube channel, we're also an art school. And this community is filled with tons of art nerds, and we gotta stick together. So if you're an art nerd too, be sure to check out the links to our social media in the description below, and check out our where is it? Check out our website for our class offerings, where you can get critique, guidance, and encouragement from instructors like me. Because we're not just a YouTube channel, we're an art school too. So if you'd like to support us so we could keep making free content, consider becoming a YouTube member for exclusive channel perks like emotes and sub badges, or by supporting us on Patreon for as little as $2 per month. You get tons of perks like my working files that I'm gonna work on today, critique sessions, class recordings, and a huge discount on our classes that have a limited amount of spots, so be sure to check those out before they're gone. So yeah, happy 2023. I mean, look, I even got like a cool headband to match with the event, I guess. Yeah, hello. Yeah, I guess put this little doodle aside. We'll have him watch while we stream. Let's get started. Sadly, as an artist, we can't really accurately get the taste of any dessert that we draw. But what we can do and focus on is the texture. So the name of the game for desserts is the texture. And that's what makes a really good and accurate design for desserts. And if I were to put it into two simple parts that are supposed to be focused on, now we got the material and the shininess. Shininess. I'm not even know. I don't even know if that's a real word, but let's do it. Shininess. Or I think it's called luster? Well, anyway. So, material is everything. So, whenever you think of a food or a dessert, think, is it smooth or rough? Because if you think of some of the desserts that I listed in the poll, some of them are really smooth, like let's say soft serve ice cream, jello, and cake. But some of them are kind of bumpy and rough, like hard serve ice cream. So yeah, it's kind of quiet. Okay, let me turn it up a little bit. Alright, how about now? Sounds good? Yeah. I should have asked, it's my bad. I know it's the new year, but I still forget. Yeah? Alright. Well, at least I'm gonna keep watching chat. Best learning stream? Oh yeah, we haven't even started. And it's already the best? Alright. So, as I was saying, smooth or rough. Think of it like this way. Or actually, hold on. Let's see. Smooth or rough? We have to think of whether the food is smooth or rough, because that's also what decides how we shade. And shading is everything when we want to accurately draw desserts. So hard or smooth or soft, I mean. So I'm gonna show an example here. I'm gonna do the classic exercise. The ball, the shading ball. I'm gonna put this aside. There. So if we have something very smooth, you know, the light, when it hits the object, the light is going to gently, like, what's it called? Like hug the object, and so will the shadow. So you could tell from this simple shading, you know, I added a light and a shadow. It's probably something really smooth, right? So the light is hugging the object really smoothly. But if it was something like rough, for example, or something with a bumpy edge, what I mean, the light won't be able to spread as easily on the object. So maybe it would look something like this if it was hard. You know, some of the light would pass through, but the shadow won't be as, or the shadows and light won't be as uniform and clean. So like right here. So if it were something rough, the light is gonna have a hard time like passing through and, you know, describing the form of the object, hugging it. And you can see I'm just doing like little splotches instead of the smooth circle right there. And I'm gonna add brighter parts. There. Oh, you just joined? Welcome. Glad to see new people joining chat. Oh, don't put it on full volume, yeah. Unless you want to blow up your ears. Yeah, second new year, new fireworks. My stream voice. A type of brush. Yeah, that's also possible, but I think now that you mention it, I want to do this more generally for now. Like, I don't want you to rely on specialized brushes. This is all just simple shading for now. So, to put it simply, when it's smooth, the lights can go through and hug the objects more smoothly. But then if it's something rough, the light is gonna have a hard time, you know? It's gonna have bumps and cracks that it's gonna end up under, and it's not gonna be as bright, I'd say. You sound louder, like talking. Okay, it's nice. Yeah, so these are just basic shading. So yeah. And then I'll put this aside right here as an example. And then number 2, the second thing that we need to consider is the shine. So right there, making sure I'm on the right layer. So shine, it describes the, what's it called? The texture as well. As well. Just like how the material decides it, you know? And an easy way to remember is that smooth equals, what was it? Smoother light? Or how do I word it? Let's see. Cleaner reflection, I should say. Cleaner reflection. And then rough equals softer reflection. So let me show what I mean. This is the best? Oh, wait, we haven't even started. How do you call it the best? Oh yeah, you haven't seen anything yet. So I'll show what I mean here. And we're gonna do another one, another classic circle example. Yeah, it's always best to start off with a simple shape if you're trying a complicated topic. So let me do that. So I'm gonna do one with a really soft and smooth shine. So like, let's say that there's an orange light right here. So if it's smooth, the object, it has more space to reflect the light source. So like, let's say there's like a yellow light right here. Or maybe let's say it's a round light. I'm gonna draw it right here. Beep. Let's say the light looks like one of these, you know, a lamp. So if it was smooth while I was shining on it, it would reflect the light perfectly. You know, the roundness of the light bulb, you would see it. So right here, and then from the light bulb, it's emanating the light right here. So I'm using like a soft brush right now. Really standard. Like right there. But let's say, you know, we have the same light. Let's see. Or actually, let me do something better. So I'm gonna use a layer mode to like better describe it. Right there. So now the light, really bright. And then this. So generally on smoother objects, the light has an easier time, like I mentioned from here. And then on rough, it's gonna be more vague, you know, so right here. So this is the light, right? But, oh, let me redo that. Deep. Right there. But then on a rougher surface, you know, maybe there'd be like little bumps and cracks. And so the reflection won't be as, what's it called? Won't be as prominent because it has to spread. And maybe the object is just not smooth. You know, like let's say metal. You know, metal is really shiny. But maybe on like this object, it's not as shiny as metal. So yeah, there's the example. You see. Well, now that we have this is like our basis for everything. I think we could finally get started on the real deal and draw actual stuff. I'm gonna put this aside. So, yeah, I'll just shrink it down. Doop, doop. Put that aside. And in case you guys didn't know, I guess I'm gonna list down the stuff I need to do. So the thing that won the poll is ice cream. So we always have a poll before the stream, and you know, you get to vote what the topic or what the main thing we're gonna draw for the stream is, and what won was ice cream, whether it's soft or hard serve. And then after that, we're gonna do cake, and then jello, and then as a request, you know, I saw somebody request whatchamacallit, a donut. Yeah, so we're gonna do that on the comments. And let's see. I want to catch up on chat. There's so many. Yeah, exactly. Somebody mentioned drawing cracks for sure. Like adding cracks would be super helpful, especially for the ice cream that we're about to draw. So, yeah. Just jump right into it. So, what kind of flavor are you guys thinking for hard serve ice cream? You know, like hard serve is the stuff you scoop into a cone. What are you guys thinking? Mint? Yo, based? Yeah, lots of people don't like mint chip. Mint chip chocolate. I love mint chocolate chip. It's one of my favorites. Yeah, mint chocolate chip. Strawberry. Ooh. Yeah, cookies and cream. Okay, I gotta say, that's my number one. Mint is number two. Strawberry, mint, cookies and cream. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'll do cotton candy. Ooh, that one's a nice one. It's like pink and blue. So yeah, maybe I'll figure it out as we go along. And since I saw mint first, I'll do mint. So I'm going to start off with a circle right here. And then just like I mentioned before, I'm going to think of what the texture of this thing is. So ice cream hard serve, if you think about it or look at a picture, it's very rough. It's very bumpy. So I'm going to add some shadows to it right here. Gonna make another layer for that. And I'm just using a normal brush. You know, it has opacity. Like if I press light, it's light. Then if I press dark, dark. That's what I recommend here. And then we're trying to describe the shape, you know, of this object. So, how do I describe it? So like right there. And the reason why I'm adding these like little bumps is because if it were a perfect circle, right? It would be just like this. It would just, let's see. For a perfect circle, we do a simple shadow like this one. Just hugging the bottom. But since this is a rough surface, there are lots of like little mountains. So if you think of a mountain, right? It's like this. And then like this. So it's like a little mountain. The light is coming from the right side. And so the left side is in shadow. Now imagine that times 1,000,000 on your ice cream. So there's like a little tiny mountain like everywhere. And I'm gonna draw that by doing the shadows right there. Yeah, banana split. There's so many. Orange sorbet. Yeah, ice cream, top tier. Top tier dessert. So right there. So since this is near the bottom, I'm gonna be add more dark parts here. And I'm trying to keep it as random as possible. Just keeping it random makes it more realistic. And you know, it's not always just about the shadows. There are also parts that stick out, you know? Little peaks. And so I'm going to describe that by doing this. Right here. And then maybe I'll add a little bit more shadow here. So already, it's kind of looking really busy, really rough, you know? Because ice cream, it's like melting. And it's not really a perfect shape. So that's what we want to get here. Ooh, cookies. That's right, we gotta add the cookies on later. So now we have the base color and the shadows. So now I'm gonna add a little bit of a brighter light. Make our ice cream a bit brighter. And then chocolate chip. And if you remember the little mountain tip I taught, you know, now I'm gonna describe the opposite. I'm adding the tops of the mountain here, adding some light. And so the bigger the light, like let's say this one, right? This is a big splotch of light. It makes it look smoother. So the bigger something is, the more smooth it looks, the light. So you want to keep the balance up, because you wouldn't want like something like this where it's so busy, right? Super busy. So have fun with trying to, you know, balance the rough and the smooth parts of the ice cream. Right there. Rocky road, yeah. The nuts. And then right there. Ice cream. And so I should draw the cone, actually. Not have it just be a little, whatchamacallit, little piece of floating ice cream. Now I'm gonna draw the cone right here. But I think I'm gonna talk a little bit more in depth about it later on. So, boop. Or maybe I'll make it bigger, actually. And by the way, I like to work from dark to light, because it's more fun that way for me. But there's nothing wrong with using it from what's it called? From light to dark, which is another common way that I see. there. Floating in the abyss. Floating ice cream. That cookie dough. Nah. So it is a big cone because we're gonna put like 3 scoops. You guys suggested like ice cream, strawberry, and chocolate chip. Or not chocolate chip, cookies and cream. There we go. So let me zoom out a little bit. Is this the one? Okay, that's notes. Let me move this aside, right here. And I think I'm gonna shade the ice cream cone later, because the somebody who suggested donut, I think this would also be of use to you. So yeah, I want to talk more in depth about that. But I want to finish the ice cream first. So there, I'm gonna add more shadow and just merge it together. Right there. So this is the texture, you know, the material that we were talking about earlier. And now we're gonna add the shininess. So it's gonna be smooth. It's gonna be smooth because, you know, ice cream, it's melting, it's kind of wet, and that water that comes from melting, it becomes really shiny. So even though the object is really rough, the water is really shiny and reflected. So I'm gonna add, oh yeah, the chips, you're right. Can't forget that. So now I'm gonna add shine onto our ice cream right here. And I like to do the shine on the edge just because it gives it a better silhouette. And so now, let me see. There. I'm just gonna draw the general shadows and lights right there. So I'm gonna add like a little bit of story. So try to tell a story with your lighting. So now there's like light, or there's like, what's it called? Drippy marks, I should say. Because, you know, the ice cream is dripping. Right here. And I'll show another example actually. So this is how I do it with one brush. But let's say you want another brush. Oh, thank you. It's not that amazing. You guys will get this good too. Trust. But anyway, another example, right? That's like a smooth version of the melting ice cream. But sometimes, you know, ice cream, it has like frost on it. Imagine you just pulled it out of the freezer. You know, it has those little frosty parts. The slush. So I'll try to do that as an example. So if you have a cool brush that has like a chalky texture, like this one, so you can see it's very chalky, like it's drawn with colored pencil. Try to press really lightly, and you could see that the little dusty effect, it's reminiscent of ice frost right there. So it looks like it was pulled out of the fridge, and like it has like that frost on top of the ice cream. So try to experiment with brushes too, because different textures, you know, offer different effects. Right here. And so I'm gonna make the light a little bit brighter on the edges, just like earlier. There. And maybe a little bit of frost right here. Just a little bit down here as well. So I'm gonna add a brighter light now on the top. And then, of course, I won't forget, guys, don't worry. I'm gonna add the mint chip. And there. And also, another important tip for when you're shading, try not to get too caught up in the details, like zoomed in like this. That's an easy way to get lost in the sauce, okay? So, Try not to get lost in the sauce. That's my tip. Try to see the big picture, you know, zoom out. And let's see. I'm going back to my old brush now. And the trick here is that I'm not pressing very hard. You know, I'm letting the brush do the work. I'm gonna blend this a little bit right here. I know ice cream. And then now I'm gonna add the little chips. So when I add the chip, right, it's not the same texture as the ice cream. It's very, it's a hard object, and it doesn't reflect very much, right? Yeah, I will share it actually. So be sure to check out the community channel, cause on YouTube, cause we'll post it there, and we post it on our Discord too. And so now that, and then okay, that's my other example. I'm gonna put the chips now. Chips are gonna be lodged on to this mint chip ice cream. And maybe there's one here. And remember, for this one, the more random it is, the better. Makes it more realistic. And so far, you know, it's not really about the brushes. I've only used 2, and the other one is optional, to be honest. Like this frosty effect. So if you want to do the frosty effect without a brush, I should show it actually. But I merged it already. Oh no. So I guess I'm going to try showing the frosty effect before I continue. So say you don't have a fancy brush like I did. I'm just going to have to do it manually. So I grab my pen. And then you try to describe it yourself. So right here, and then maybe do some spots. So always work with what you have, you know, because it is still possible. It's not all about the brushes. I mean, it won't be the same effect, but you could still achieve similar effects like this one. I'm gonna add there. So what I'm doing here is a combination and balance of big light and then small light. So this is how I would do it without the brush, you know. Like that, big and then small. Small touches like that. Yeah. This is looking yummy. Okay. Well, it's gonna get even better. So now maybe I'm gonna add one right here, right where the light is. And so, when you think of chips or cookies, like chocolate chip, I mean, you wouldn't think it's something that's shiny, right? But everything, every item actually reflects light to some degree. And that's why it has like a shine and a shadow. So even though, you know, chocolate isn't known for being shiny, well, some are, but at the very least this cookie sort of thing is not known for being shiny. We'll still add like a slight shine to it, like right here. You know, it's not as overt, I guess, as the shiny ice cream, but it still has shine nonetheless. Right there. I mean, that's okay. Everybody starts off at a lower level, you know. I wasn't always the best. I am the best, right? And there, I'm gonna describe it. And since I added these chocolate chips, maybe I'll add a little bit of shadow onto the parts below, right here. Gonna add a shadow, like, where is it? Right here. Right here. So to make it look real, and like it's interacting with the object, the simplest way is adding a shadow. So I'm gonna add a shadow right here. And darker shadow maybe darker on here. Darker. Deep, deep. Yeah, art is always hard at some point. Things that are worth it, you know, they're hard. They take lots of work. That's fine, you know? It takes time as well. And then there. It's so tedious. I mean, it has its own appeal because traditional art, in my digital art, I'm trying my best to replicate it, you know, because traditional is really organic. You can't really replicate it in digital, you know? It's just so traditional is so random compared to digital where it's very rigid, you know what you're gonna get. So lots of 3D artists, or 2D, I should say digital artists, they try to replicate that effect. You know, it has its own appeal. So I'm gonna lighten up this ice cream a little bit more. So like right here, I'm gonna get my brush again. Oh yeah. Well, I think it just takes time, you know, like smudging your stuff, really relatable. When you've drawn for a long time and then you have the smudge on the bottom of your palm. It's been a while since I've drawn traditional. Yeah, anyway, this is our ice cream. And then now, I'm gonna work on the cone. Or actually, I'll save the cone. I'll save the cone for after the soft serve ice cream. So I'm gonna make another cone right here. Now for soft serve. So maybe I'll do this one in strawberry actually to make it easier for me. I don't think I could do all the shapes, sadly, or all the flavors, I should say. I'll do my best though. We'll see if we have time. So for soft serve, try to think of the general shape, right? Because it's like it's kind of like the swirly shape, like this one. So an easy way is to sketch it out, you know, really lightly, and try to see how the spiral would go, like that. Now I'm gonna draw the spiral a little bit right here, and then be like a little part right there. And so now, from this little line, imagine this is like the middle, the very center line. So if I were to describe it in simpler terms, you know, I drew a simple line. Excuse me. Sorry. I draw a cylinder like that. So this is how you picture it. And this one takes a lot of practice, so don't be shy if you don't get it on the first try. So this is the perfect way to describe it. This line is touching the center of the cylinder. And so now I'm gonna draw a little bit of thickness on it, right here. And maybe I'll color code it actually. Maybe this one, the outer side would be blue, right here. This is blue. And then now, is also blue. That. And then doop, doop, doop. Yeah, I think soft serve is one of those fun shapes that takes a lot of practice to accurately get, you know? Let's see. Yeah, somebody did draw on spreadsheets. That is pretty funny. And yeah, I do use Clip Studio. Yeah, sorry, I just took a glance. Yeah, I try my best to keep these streams relaxing. So, the crazy part about soft serve, right? It's not just a simple cylinder like this one. It has like this unique shape to it. And if you want to describe it, I think, how do I draw it? It's something like this. It's kind of like, it's a way more complicated shape than you think, because this is where, how do I describe it? Imagine the nozzle of the machine, right? On the very tip of it, It looks like this, actually. And that's what gets that really nice, clean shape. So now that we have that shape, we could like describe it more. So like right there's so many like edges if you try to describe the shape. And right there, it's kind of like a fancy shape. And don't worry, I don't expect you guys to fully like draw like this. I just want to show you guys what goes into it, you know, what makes that fancy shape. And so now I'm going to describe that shape by adding more edges right here. There. So this is the shape. I'm going to add another one. And for this one, you got to watch out because it's easy to get lost in the sauce. Don't get lost in the sauce. And then right there. So now, let's see. I'm going to describe it by drawing like a sharper shape. Like that. But it is really fun though to do. There. And I'm gonna add more shadow onto here. And then draw the points as well. Yes, soft serve is deceptively simple, you know. But there's so much that goes into it. Yeah, like a churro, exactly. And then, let's see. Now we've got the soft serve sketch going. I think I could put it on top, maybe. Put it simply. And I'll make it one color, because I know some soft serve, they're like half pink, half white, and all that. But just to keep it simple and easy to follow, I'll stick with a one color scheme. And then I'm gonna draw the general shape underneath. So the ice cream. Doot, doot, doot. Then there. Then, boom. And so now, with the sketch, I want to describe the shadows because whenever you think of shadows, you shouldn't just think of it as like, oh, the dark part of the object. It's also a really good way to draw the object. You know, you're describing the shape of it. And that's why you notice in my art style, I don't really use line art too much because I'd rather use colors as my line art. So now, I'm gonna put that and there. So now I don't need the sketch anymore. So already, you know, you could tell the shape, right? And so now I'm gonna add the little lines. So you can see the big shadows I made big lines for. And then for the details, you know, the intricate details of the swirl, I use a lighter line. So right there. So this is another easy way to describe, you know, and to not get yourself lost in the sauce. Never get lost in the sauce. Beep. And then now I'm gonna add this little detail onto here. And right there. So yeah, we talked about rough objects, and now I'm gonna talk about a soft object right here. So like we talked about earlier, you know, you can see in the notes, in a smooth material, the light has the freedom to take the shape and hug it. So on the strawberry soft serve ice cream, I'm gonna use this, I'm gonna show you guys a little trick actually. This is an easy way to do soft shading. So first off, you know, I like to draw a hard shadow or hard light like this one. And then I go in here with the airbrush and then I pick the color and then I slightly go over it like this. And then I pick the light again and then I slightly go over it again. It's like this nice balance. So you can see that there's like a hard edge on the ice cream, but at the same time, it's like fading. Has like this nice effect to it. So now, there. I'm gonna add the light onto the edges again, because generally it's a nice effect where when the light is caught by the edge right here. I'm gonna add more right here, and I'm gonna add thicker bits of light. Right there. And then I'm gonna do the soft trick again. I'm gonna grab my airbrush and balance it out. So this is all about balancing your soft and hard edges right here. And then trace it, and right there. Let's see, I gotta catch up on my house. Or on my house, what am I saying? I gotta catch up on chat. I was reading the chat and said what I was reading by accident. 2 gallons of ice cream. No. Yeah, that's always the worst feeling when you know you have food at home, like maybe cake or ice cream, and then you look forward to going home, but then you find out, oh, okay, my mom ate it or my brother ate it. Yeah, look forward to it because we might have a few videos on the topics you guys are talking about. But yeah, I do like drawing characters more as well. Right there. So you can see, look at the balance between the hard edges and the light edges. I feel like this is one of the most satisfying things to shade. So I'm trying to balance hard and soft. This is the balancing act you gotta play. So now we got hard, and then I soften it on the sides right here. There. And I'm just using really simple brushes, you know. They're standard in every drawing software, I believe. You know, we got the hard and the soft. We got the airbrush and the normal pen. There. And there. And then now I'm gonna add the shadow. And for the shadow, it's the same effect. You know, you got the hard edges, then you balance it out with a soft edge right here. Yo guys, it's too early for Halloween. You guys are talking about that stuff? And then doop. And then do a little bit of shading. There. And I'm gonna soften up the shadow here. I think it's never too early for Halloween. Yeah. It's always spooky. Yeah. Ribbons? For sure. Because this is like a simple way of shading it. You know, I don't want to go too in depth, right? I want this to be introductory instead of it being too complicated, right? So, I'm trying to see the time if we... And then I think this part is a little bit too soft, so I'm gonna add some hard edges all over again, right here. All about that balance. And then afterwards, I think we're gonna draw the cake and the jello. Yeah, there's gonna be special stuff that I hope would be of use to you. So there. And then I'm gonna bounce it again. We got the hard and the soft. And then I'm gonna add the softness again, the very back, right here. And then I'm trying to see, I feel like the shadows are a bit too dark. So maybe I'll lighten them up with the soft brush, the airbrush, right here. And this one doesn't have enough shadow. I'll add that. Yeah, already it's like really shiny. Has this nice effect. What do you guys think? Got the ice cream. Okay. And then right there. And so now I could put this aside. Here. Oh, maybe I don't need this one. Or let's see. That. And I don't need this one. Just put it on the side. And I'll get to the cone later on, I think. Or maybe. Let's see. Maybe I will work on the cone right now, actually. So right there. I only need to draw it once anyway. So I want to describe the waffle cone by doing this. I'm gonna draw a shade. Or let's say, I'm gonna use the rough pencil again. I'm gonna draw the little pattern that it has. Maybe not that bright. Maybe this bright. Doop. And doop. And then right there. Yeah, I haven't been watching movies lately. I do want to watch the new Puss in Boots. I don't know if you guys have seen it. I think it was called Last Wish. But it's really pretty. It looks like... What's it called? It looks like Spider-Verse. With the animation style. It's 3D, but it looks 2D. Yeah, I want to watch it. I really want to watch it. Because I do remember, it was so bizarre. The first Puss in Boots movie, that was like back in, what, 2010? Or something like that? But then they decided to release it now, and it was actually really, really good. Oh, you've watched it? Yeah, I guess for those of you who don't know, the plot, that Puss in Boots, you know, he has 9 lives, but then he's lost 8 of them. And so now he's trying to, like, save his last life. I think that's, like, the gist of it. But that's about all I know about the movie. It's really cool. Yeah, isn't the villain, like, that cool wolf guy? With, like, like, he whistles or something? I'm trying to avoid spoilers, so... Yeah. And I'm trying to think. I want to watch it. I mean, it is still out. 25% for the gorgeous evil wolf. If bad, why beautiful? If bad, why hot? And then... Let's see, erase that. So I guess I should describe what I'm doing. I got caught up thinking about Puss in Boots, but you know, I draw the shape, right? This is like a really highlighted shape for the waffle cone. And then a waffle cone, it's not very shiny. It's very rough, right? If you feel it up, it has like little bumps and crevices. And I think you could use this for donuts too, for that somebody who asked for donut tips. But don't worry, I'll try to get to that if we have time. And so these inside parts, the inside of the diamond, it's not going to be as bright because it's kind of under, you know, it's under these diamond diamond patterns. So right there. And it won't be as bright, you know, like let's say right here. If you look at the color wheel, it's somewhere along the middle. But I think this is as bright as it gets, you know. Unless, let's see, let's try though. I don't think it makes too much sense for it to be as shiny as the ice cream. So the ice cream should be the shiniest thing in your object. There. And then another movie that I've heard a lot about is the new Avatar movie. That's another weird one because it came out in like 2011, but then they planned like a bajillion movies, but it never happened. But that's a kid's movie. Yeah, that's the struggle of animation. I always think it's a kid's movie. Yeah. So many movies. I guess now that we're on the topic of animated movies, do you guys have any like favorites? Standout examples? Because I don't know, whenever I get asked this question, I never know what to answer. Because there's just so many. Okay, Spider-Verse, pretty good. I respect it. It has a really good story too. Nightmare Before Christmas, yeah. It's pretty nice. Yeah, stop motion. If animation is underappreciated, oh my gosh, stop motion is underappreciated. Like there's so much work that goes into it. Takes like a bajillion years, but it's so good. Yeah, we got our ice queen. What time is it? Okay, we got about what time? Wall-E, yeah, Wall-E is amazing. Okay, if I had to say a favorite animated movie, yeah, it has to be Wall-E. But that is 3D, so maybe I'll ask for 2D and 3D. Stop motion is another one. Yeah, Turning Red was really good. Soul. And then, hold up. What was I gonna do? Right, I was gonna do Cake now. So for these next few ones, I'm just gonna show them off, you know, because they are... I still did want to talk about them. Toy Story, classic. Soul is pretty good, yeah. I like the concept, very, very deep. Inside Out, yeah, that was also amazing. So many examples. And then maybe I'm gonna draw a cake now, just so you guys have a heads up. So I'm gonna draw this cake with a cylinder right here. At the dad? Do you mean at the end? The same scene at the dad. Here. I'll tilt it just a little bit. This cake. And then I'm gonna have a slice off of it. And I'm not gonna spend too much time. You know, I just wanna showcase it. Because the concept that goes into drawing this cake, pretty much the same as what goes into the ice cream. But I will tell you guys about the standout parts right here. Dude. Megamind? Yo, Megamind is so good. I'm a Mega Man fan. Or Megamind. It's generally a really good movie. Yes, Chocolate Cake. Such a good movie. And Kung Fu Panda. I think Kung Fu Panda is the best DreamWorks series, I guess. It's my personal favorite. Giga Chad. But anyway. Yeah, Kung Fu Panda. I don't know about the third one. Like, the third one was good, but the second one was just so... It was so good. Yeah, I don't know. Whenever something works really well at a movie, I don't know, sometimes I kind of tear up, man. And like Kung Fu Panda 2, one of those movies. So good. Oh, Sinbad? I remember that. I was like so young, and I only watched it like a handful of times back in the day. But I do remember that. Oh, which ones do I have to know to be Giga Chat? Okay, let me reread chat. I guess you could mention it again. Ah, Ninjago. I didn't grow up in Ninjago. Because, actually, funny story about that. I did want to get into Ninjago, but then growing up, you know, I was really aware of prices of things, and I knew Ninjago sets were super expensive. Like Lego is really expensive, so I was like, oh, I'm not getting into this, man. I can't. It looks so cool, but I can't. But I did get the knockoffs though. That's what I got. Knockoff Lego Ninjago. Next best thing. Yeah, How to Train Your Dragon. I still need to watch the second and the third movie. I don't know. I just never got around to it. I don't know what's wrong with me. Yeah. Big Hero 6. Ah, Big Hero 6 is also really good. I love the animation. It's like a superhero movie. Very nice. Yeah, the Lego movie. The Cars series? I think it's alright. The second one, I think it was fun, honestly, the second one. And then the first and the third one, more story based. And right there. What a train. I guess if I had to think of my favorite animated, like 2D animated film, it has to be The Iron Giant. It's a really good movie, if you guys haven't watched it. Let's see. Yeah, I guess just to talk a little bit about what I'm drawing right here, this cake. It's a very it's a good in-between actually for this cake. It's rough, but not that rough. And also it's smooth, but not that smooth. So yeah, get that. Do I like steak? Hmm. I'll be honest, I haven't had the real quote unquote steak where it's like the big piece of meat. But yeah, I would say I like it. Like if I had the chance to try it, I don't see why I would be like, ew, I don't like this. Oh, I did watch that. The new the new Pinocchio. That's kind of dark, honestly. But it's really good. It's so well animated. Stop motion. Thank you, Guillermo del Toro. Very cool. Can I get... Okay, you will. Hoo, yeah, yeah. What is that? Why do you need a hoo, yeah? What is that? But yeah, I do like hype in my chats. I know I'm pretty calm most of the time, but I do appreciate a good hype. Like, woo, yeah, drawing cake, woohoo, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And anyway, so we got the cake here, and I'm describing like the sort of bumpiness of it, because fluffy cake. It has like this texture. It has the what's it called? It's kind of like a cork, if I had to compare it to anything. So like the cork texture, and I'll describe that by making the edges a little bit bumpy right here. So it's not a perfect cake, like right here. It has like those little spaces. And also cake, not as reflective, because it's sort of rough, very spongy. The cake is a lie. Nah, this cake is true. This cake is the truth. And now I think I've described like what's it called? The breadiness of it. So I think I'm gonna add some light because compared to the waffle cone, it catches more light, I'd say, just to make it look more delectable, you know. Gonna add little pieces of light right here. And I'm gonna add the frosting. The frosting is the best part. Everything cake. Now, I think this one is just gonna be a chocolate cake because it didn't win the poll. So I'm just gonna quickly go over it, you know. I still want to show you guys the tips that go into it. So now we got like the spongy, the bready texture, and now it's time for the frosting. And I think this is my favorite part. The frosting or the fudge, I'd say. And so fudge is a liquid, and liquids are known for being really shiny. So compared to the rough or the spongy texture of cake, I'm gonna color the fudge. Gonna add a nice highlight onto here. And stretch. The icing? Oh yeah, I'm gonna do the icing. Don't worry. Worry not. And so the icing, if you want to be really fancy, you could use the tip that I gave for the ice cream earlier. But I think for this one, I'm gonna keep it simple. So the frosting. Is this called frosting? Like the kind of like the fudge that is like coated on top of the cake right here. I don't think this is called frosting, but maybe I'll add it later on. But now you see this little fudge part. I'm gonna add hard edges to it because it's a very smooth, very liquidy texture. And if it's liquidy, then it's more prone to reflecting light. So I'm gonna describe that. There. Looks realistic. Oh yeah, and this is just the basic one, right? So it goes to show that it's all about the shading, the texture. So if you want to really accurately, what's it called, convey, I guess, an object, it's all about shading. So now I'm gonna add like the little highlights, and I think it's time for the soft shading right here. I'm using the airbrush, really simple one. The back rooms. Well, somebody ended up in the back rooms. Oh no. So now I'm gonna add my favorite parts to anything shiny, the shine itself. Well, actually, maybe the light is coming from the same source, which is like right here in the top right corner. And like I mentioned before, you know, when something is smooth, light has more freedom to move around it. And so that's why something smooth is more shiny. So like right there, add the shine. And whenever you're using shine to anything, don't get carried away, okay? With using the bright light, save it sparingly. So like right here, I'll do that, do that. So you can see that there's highlights on this object. You know, it's not entirely shiny. There. And I think this should do it for the cake. So that's like the big tips I wanted to give when it comes to cake. So I'll put you on the side. Doop, doop. And if I had to... Ooh, second cake. I put there. And what else is in our itinerary? Ooh, jello. I feel like you guys are in for a treat with this one. But I wanted to talk to you guys about a shading tip. So I'm gonna... What color haven't we done? Maybe I'll do green. Nice green for our jello. Right here. And I'm gonna keep it simple, just like the cake. Just because we don't have too much time. And I do want to go back to the ice cream, because that's what I want to fully develop, right? And so I'm gonna shade this just like the other ones, right? So we got the base color, and then I add a shadow around it, or maybe darker, like this one, there, and then there. You got this goopy, what's it called? Jello. And so what you could do is if you want it to look translucent, translucent means light could pass through it, but it's not transparent like glass. So an easy thing to do is to pick the color, the background color, and then you do a little shade with the soft brush right here. So by doing this, you kind of imply that you could see the background a little bit. So you could see like the original color, but then I'm going to go back and pick the shadow color and lightly touch over it. So you could sort of see through it. And then I'm going to add a dark color because I want to give shape. I want to give shape onto this jello right here. Boop, boop. And the same trick as before, I keep saying trick, is the hard edge and the soft edge. So I'm gonna shadow that, and then I'm gonna pick the shadow with the airbrush again right here, and then I'm gonna pick the original color and go over it again, just like that. Chocolate cake. And then I remember for my hamster I used to buy him a lot of seeds, sunflower seeds. It's fun. I like having hamsters. And it's always really funny like seeing him grab the sunflower seed from my hand and then he like tries to crack it open. It's pretty good. I love hamsters too. Gotta be one of my favorite pets. And then there I'm gonna add a little bit of shadow at the bottom as well. It's right here. And then now I think I'm gonna add the highlights. So this entire top part is a highlight. And just like I mentioned before, a jello is a soft object. And since it's soft, light can freely move around it. And then there. Gonna add that. Or actually, maybe that's a bit too much. And then I'm gonna add a really, really bright highlight. Like right here. Right there. And then the sign is what really sells it. Like right here. Doop, doop, doop. And then I blend it again with my airbrush. It's a lot of this. So this is what goes into it, Hard work will show up, will pay off in this case. Nice and slow. Doop, doop, doop. And then for this part, I'm gonna blend the shadow a little bit more. Or the light, I should say, the highlight. Very jiggly. Yes. Very jiggly indeed. And then you could go back, actually, and make it more translucent. Or you know what? I'll show it as an example, actually. So I'll put this ice cream behind the jello right here. And so I'm gonna erase it a little bit with the airbrush right here so that it's translucent. I'm erasing it very, very lightly. There, so you can see. And then I'm gonna add the color again. Doop, doop. Yeah, so the best way to think about it is if you think of sunglasses, right? You look through your sunglasses and everything is darker. So think of the jello as sunglasses. Like if you look through it, everything turns slightly green. So, right there. There. And then here comes the fun part, actually. So the unique thing about jello is that it's translucent. So let's say, even though it's translucent, it still will cast a shadow. So I'll do a shadow in a little bit. So like right here, maybe that's a bit too dark. So their shadow, you know, as the light passes through the object, the light kind of catches the color of the object. So now there's gonna be like a little bit of a shine at the bottom right here. It's like slightly shiny. That's because the light can still pass through even though there's a shadow. But yeah, I haven't read the chat. Oh my gosh, what's happening in chat? Guys, we need to go back. We need to go back to talking about desserts. What are you guys doing in chat? I thought we were talking about desserts and rendering, guys. Come on. But anyway, it's not too late. We still can draw the donut. Yeah. But where was I? Kinda got lost. Yeah, guys, I was talking about jello. Yeah, donut, let's go. Well, at the very least, I'm glad you guys are having fun. Because I am also having fun. For apply to flan, I think the shading applies for flan, but since flan isn't really transparent or translucent, you don't need to do this shiny stuff, you know? So if you were to draw flan, just take advice from the smooth shading. A croissant. Maybe I could do a croissant, yeah. Yeah, I don't see why not. I'll do a croissant. And there. You know what? I'll just hide my notes. Put this on the wayside. Doop, doop. Random floating desserts. And where's the cake? Go eat a croissant. Yeah, I know I said it would have 3 scoops, but I drew 2 ice creams. I think I need to draw everything, so I'll try to go back into it and draw the 3rd scoop. Because we got the soft serve and then the hard one. Ooh, a menu. That's a really good idea, Daria. Yeah. A croissant. Okay, I can't stop saying it. I gotta stop saying it. I'll draw a donut now. Donut. Gotta be one of my favorite desserts. And so the thing I like to do for donuts is I like to draw it really lightly. Because if you know how a donut is made, it's actually deep fried. You know, you deep fry the top, and then you deep fry the bottom. That's how you make a donut. At least like the original donut. Not all donuts are made the same. So I got that. I got the nice center. A cotton candy flavored donut. Yeah, I don't see why not. Fried bread. Okay, let me look up the colors actually that go into a cotton candy donut. I guess it'll be blue and pink if I had to guess. Oh, it's kind of marbly. Kind of like that. Yeah, you know what? Since you guys have been good boys, good girls, I will do a shiny donut, a special donut. Blue and pink, yeah. And so this is the centerpiece, right? And the center is kind of bright because when you deep fry it, it doesn't reach all the places because when you fry something, it sort of inflates. And so now I'm gonna get this golden brown right here. So whenever you're drawing anything, I always encourage people to, you know, think about how it's made. Because if you do, then you have an easier time like shading, drawing stuff. So yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. They actually haven't been very good, but I spoiled them nonetheless. It is my curse. And so I'll keep this donut really simple because I just want to go over it, show the process. Yeah. Hangry more like. Hungry, angry. Yeah, honestly, I would take a chaotic chat over a lively or a boring and a bored chat, I should say, not a boring chat. Much rather that. Ooh, what would you name my little hole in the wall dessert shop? What would it be? Do tell. Yeah. Is your name a reference to the song? Um, do you mean the singer? No, actually. It's just a nickname that I've had since birth. And yeah. Guess you're thinking real hard about my dessert shop name, huh? What if I called my dessert shop Wing Canvas? Wing Bakery. Ooh. And then, hmm. Oh, I have the general shape of the donut. So I'm gonna add like bits of shadow. And it should be, I know it's a little bit redundant at this point, but try to remember. Object is kind of bumpy, kind of rough. And that's why I'm trying to imply that with the brush right here. It's really chalky. Winged pastries. Like that. And then, yep, yep. And then, here's that. Add a little bit of a shadow. Yeah, when it comes to textures, it's always about the slow build. Then add a darker shadow. I think this is a rare one because now I'm building from light to shadow. I don't usually do that. Yeah, welcome. Woo! Your first live stream. We have about how many more minutes? Okay. Try to keep it brief. Can I get a Can I get a mint flavor ice cream and the jello and the chocolate cake? Yeah, here you go. Here is your cake. Ooh. But anyway, I gotta finish up this, what's it called? This bubblegum donut. But before that, it's important to really take your time on the designs here. Or on the shading, not the design. There. Nice and yeah, I'm getting really into this actually. This is a nice, delicious looking donut. And now it's time to add the cotton candy. Yeah, there we go. Not bubblegum, sorry. Um. Okay, I'm gonna start off with like a nice glaze over everything. This is the Wing Canvas Special, Wing Pastries. Open for business. Or you know what? I'm gonna look for that drawing again. There it is. Is this the one? No. Okay, let me delete that. Or maybe not. I'm trying to look for my old doodle. Did I delete it? I hope I didn't. No, please don't tell me I deleted my doodle. Oh, it's right there. No, that's not it. I'm trying to look for the doodle I did in the beginning. No, that's not it. Okay, hold on. Alright, let me try to look for it. See, this is why you name your layers. I gotta look for it. This one? No, don't tell me I deleted it. Oh man. Yeah, I do use Clip Studio. Yeah, I guess that's it. My doodle is gone forever. But let's see. Got about 10 minutes, so try to make this quick. And so just like everything else, you know, Frost is very shiny. So very reflective and smooth. So now I'll try to do that. Try to make the goopy parts. Yeah, cotton candy. So I like to start off with a white base right here. And I'm gonna add a shadow around everything. And let's see. So I'm gonna add some blues and pinks onto it. It's my favorite thing to do. Mint chocolate chip cookie. Yeah, it does, but I think for this case, you know, I think it saves more time if I'm under time pressure. So I'm gonna add the nice blue now. Or actually, it's a bit too dark. This one. I have no idea what cotton candy donut would look like, but I guess this is the fun part. You're just designing it. I'm trying to figure out what it would be like. So I'm adding like this really nice pink and blue combination. And I imagine that it would have pearls, you know, like the fondant pearls. A lemon tart. Yeah, the pearls. Those are always nice. Yeah, I ended up putting equal amounts of effort actually into everything. Which is good. And I think I'm gonna add more blue. There's too much pink. Nice balance between the two. Or it's more like a periwinkle. A bluish purple than a blue. And this part takes a lot of blending. Do I like cookies? Yeah, I love cookies. If I had to pick a favorite, I like macadamia nut. Macadamia nut and white chocolate. Really good. Like chocolate chip, don't get me wrong, is really good. It's a classic. Candy, okay, try to think. I think my favorite candy would be sour gummies. Like those are the best. Top tier candy right there. They got sour gummies. Let me draw that right now. Boom. They're the best. And then they have like little bits of sugar. Gotta be one of my favorites. You name them Agiu the good what? Macadamia. It's a nut. It's it's not like almond. I don't know what to compare it to. Favorite food from cartoon, anime, or show? That's a tough one because there's like a bajillion shows. Yeah, I guess could you guys give suggestions on like what shows, I guess, to be more specific? Because maybe I might know some of them, right? Oh yeah, Cookie Cat. Yeah, the Steven Universe. I don't think it's a popsicle though. That's like an ice cream sandwich. Ghibli food? Yeah, for real. They're so well rendered. So lovingly made. Okay. What is my favorite show or anime? This is another hard one. Signing out. Oh, thank you. Yeah, sure. We like to take suggestions, so we'll think about it, an outfit. Because I know next week, if I remember right, Vanessa, one of our other teachers and streamers, she's doing winter outfits, so look forward to that one. No, sadly, I didn't watch the Owl House. I only watched the last cartoon I watched and finished was Gravity Falls. I didn't get to finish Steven Universe, but yeah, I love both shows. Lots of fun. But like, favorite cartoon, anime, or show? I'm still thinking about that because it's always a hard question to answer. Gravity Falls is superior. And then there. Hmm. Adventure Time food? It's been a while since I watched Adventure Time too. Bajillion years. Hmm. Yeah, I can't think of any at the top of my head. The scariest show. Coraline. This is really funny, but have you guys ever watched a Goofy movie? Because that movie unintentionally scared me. Like the principal, when he called Goofy and he was ragging about Max, like I thought that was like really scary. I was like, wow, can't believe they put this in the movie. This is so scary. And right there. What time is it? Okay. Yeah, Goofy movie, top tier movie. It's pretty good. And I stretch. But I guess if we had to say a scary movie, I guess back when I was really young, I watched Monster House, and it was so good. I think Monster House is such a good horror film because it is scary, but it has a really good story that like keeps you curious. You know, even as a kid, you're like, wow, this is really scary, but I really want to know why this house is a monster. You know, Coraline. I think I don't remember enough about Coraline to say my opinion about it, but yeah, I can see how it's freaky. Watch Wednesday. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about it. Oh, hold on. Let me arrange my file now to something more satisfying. Beep, beep. Got our chocolate cake. So I guess how many more minutes? We have like 2 minutes. So any suggestions, I guess, in 2 minutes? Speed run? Let me know. Yeah, animated horror movies. I'm trying to think of more. Croissant. Okay, croissant. Okay. This is the first one I saw. I'm gonna try to draw a croissant from memory. So it'll be pretty similar, I think, with the donut. I think it is really interesting how it's made. Isn't it made with like several folds? You know, you fold it in on itself over and over. And that's how it gets its really airy, really spongy texture. There. Croissant. A gummy bear. Maybe. But I think it's about time to wrap up. The croissant will be the final drawing of the stream. Takes like 3 days to make. Is that so? Really? That's crazy. So again, this is perfect for the person who commented on pastry. You know, they want to see pastry. It's all about the roughness. So if it's rough, the light won't be as shiny. Right there. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of pockets of darkness right here. Oh yeah, I think that's pockets of darkness. That sounds like a villain brand. I don't know, where bad guys go to shop for their outfits. Doop, doop. Dude, then blend it a little bit. Let's see, yeah, there we go. A simple croissant. And I think that about wraps it up for today, for today's stream. Yeah, it's nice and lively. I'm really happy to see chat be super active. And this is like my first stream of the year. And glad. Seems like you guys are having fun. Hope you guys had fun and learned a lot. And to sum it up, in my stream of drawing desserts, it's all about the texture. Think about the material and think about the shininess of an object. And that way, you have a better idea of how to shade your stuff and make more accurate coloring designs, coloring decisions. And so before I leave off, I want to remind you guys, we're not just a YouTube channel. We also have art classes, so go onto our website. It's right next to me. And I have classes, actually. I teach cartooning and anime and several other classes. So be sure to join. And if you want to support us as well in other ways, go on YouTube, become a member, and then you get like really nice exclusive emotes. And then on Patreon, you get the working file, like this one. It's pretty nice. Oh, thank you, Sue Jabman. Thanks for the donation. But yeah, other than that, I hope you guys have fun. And I look forward to this year and more streams. So yeah, see ya. Bye-bye. See you around.